Welcome to the Lotus Life Podcast. I'm very honored to have you here listening. Welcome back. Today's episode is anchored into this idea and concept we have really had beaten into us. This phrase that we hear that we've embodied, and we've molded and constructed our whole lives around, that really has promised us this phrase, promised us the solution to our problems, but it actually just creates more. This phrase that I'm speaking of specifically is try harder. Try harder. That must be the reason things are not working out. So in this episode, we're going to explore what I feel is at the root problem of trying harder, why it really doesn't work, and what you should do instead to really set yourself on your path and your purpose, and to find joy and a solution to your problems. Stick around. So this phrase is just really interesting. And if I think back on my childhood, I think I've probably heard that phrase way too much. I heard it a lot. And I know you have too. And it's a part of our American culture. It's a part of being in the Western world. It's a part of first world country, dogma and practice. It's a part of our educational system. It's a part of our childhood. It's a part of adulthood. We're all obsessed and addicted to this lie that trying harder will equal success. Trying harder does not always equal success. Most of the time, trying harder equals boredom. Trying harder equals burnout. In fact, this incredible book I'm reading, You², Y-O-U², by Price Pritchett, is incredible. And I think it was like $7 on Amazon, by the way, but it's a really amazing, fast read. I highly, highly recommend it. I want to read you something out of there because I read this last night and it has stirred me and inspired me. And I know it will for you too. Okay. So, first of all, you have to understand that he starts off with this vision of him in this restaurant, and he sees this fly buzzing at this window, and the fly just keeps buzzing, hitting the window, falling down, falling, hitting, flying into the window. It will not stop. It thinks the only way to leave this restaurant, the only way to get unstuck, is to keep going in the direction that it's going. And so he's sitting there going, what's up with this? Why won't the fly make a 180 turn and fly out the open door that the waitress just opened? Why won't the fly do something different? Because keeping going, staying the course that it's doing right now is going to equal one thing: death on the windowsill. How many times have you been in that situation? I can tell you right now, I've been in that situation so many times, where the only solution in my mind in that moment is, well, there must just be more work to do in this same rut I'm in. Maybe I'm not giving it my all. Maybe a part of me is still holding back, I ask myself. I wonder if I should try harder. And so I do. I try harder, and like the fly, I keep flying in the same direction with the same thinking that got me in that situation in the first place. And I die on the dusty windowsill. And the thing is, we don't need to do that. We're smarter than the fly, but most of us get stuck like the fly. Sooner or later, he says, you're going to reach the point where you can't try any harder. It may be that your spirit flags, or that your physical and mental resources are stretched to the limit, and often, well before you come to that set of circumstances, you reach the point of diminishing return. trying harder and harder starts producing less and less. Sometimes, in fact, intensifying your efforts produces nothing except bigger problems. How many times, oh my God, I love that so much. How many times have you been in a situation where you keep going, oh my God, I had an argument not too long ago with Brandon because of me, and I apologize, it was all me. But I kept coming at the feeling I had in my body with the same thinking and the same moment and the same concept of we're going to talk this through. It was late at night and I know better. I usually set those arguments down. I'm like, I just got to sleep. Because honestly, in the morning with energy, everything looks better. But I will admit to you here that I failed. I kept going. I argued in bed and I kept picking and I was the fly against the wall. I kept arguing and pounding this point and amplifying my feelings. And in the process, was I solving anything? No. I was actually making it worse. Diminishing return. In fact, my declaration to keep trying harder eroded in that moment love and trust. Brandon and I have fully recovered from that, but it's the example of the fly. There I was in bed, head on, coming at the problem with the same thinking that got me in it, expecting a change, expecting to survive from it. But not only did we not survive that night, so to speak, we went to bed a little bit angry, but I woke up exhausted, diminishing return. Can you guys relate to that? Of course you can. If you've been in a relationship and you've lived with your partner, I know you've been there. So I'll continue with what Pritchett says here. As a case in point, go back to the story of the fly, he says. That little insect could have turned away from the window 180 degrees, followed the path of least resistance as it flew to the open door. A quantum leap into freedom. 10 seconds of effortless flight would have produced total success, while hours of frustration and panic spent beating its wings against the glass were destined to end fruitlessly in death on the dusty windowsill. I want to go back here to 10 seconds of effortless flight would have produced total success. Effortless flight. Because that's the thing we really got to wrap our heads around here, is that the change, the solution isn't harder work. The change, the solution, the freedom you want is effortless. Now that goes against everything you've ever been taught, hence this episode. I've got to get this in your head and body. I must have you know this. Your change, your freedom, your success is on the other side of ease. Your success is on the other side of softness. I just made an Instagram post about this and I said, your success is in Crocs and delivering you your favorite latte. She is chill. She's cool. Success and the freedom you want is in a relaxed, effortless, easeful, refined, and beautiful state. It's not from hard work. Your success is not going to come from working harder. Your success is not going to come from beating your head against the wall again and again and tearing yourself down in the process. Yet that's what we all do. So I believe we all do it because we don't know what else to do in its place, right? So today's episode is not just let's talk about that and like pull the scab back and go, well, damn, now I'm open and cool. I get it, Kim. I'm on board. I'm on the edge of my seat. Tell me now, right? I'm not just going to leave you there. Let's talk about what to do instead. But you're going to hear this and some of you are going to go, cool idea, but I don't trust it. I don't believe it. I don't believe that my change can be so graceful. I don't believe that there's a path of least resistance and that's the solution. And the reason you don't believe that is because the paradigm you have in your mind. The paradigm is the story that was given to us by our parents and our caregivers and our role models up until around the age of 7 years old. Your paradigm was built. Your paradigm is the story, it's the program running in your mind that says, this is who you are, and this is how you should react, and these are the things you should like, and those are the people and the things you should dislike, and this is your level of success, and that's it. That's all you'll ever achieve. Or this is your level of success, and don't mess up because failure isn't what you do. And all of these stories are not your own. I'm sorry to tell you. If you want to rewrite those stories, you need to start now if you haven't already. Some of you listening to this are in MMM and Manifesting Mastery membership, and we are dismantling the old paradigms and rewriting new ones right now. And some of you listening to this are in the Quantum Manifesting 5-day coaching program with me, and we are really going deep. Stay tuned. And already we've discovered we bend the fly for way too long, and we're instantly rewriting our paradigms. And we're practicing the new shift. We're practicing the 180-degree turn. So some of you are going to hear what's coming up next in this episode, and your whole body is going to go, I don't think so, girl. Like, it can't be that easy. Or that sounds great, but I don't believe that's for me. So that's okay. If you have that reaction, what I want you to do is hold it. I want you to take a deep breath into it. I want you to recognize that that's your nervous system hearing something new. And normally what we do is when we hear something new, we close down, we turn the other cheek, we say, not for me because it doesn't match my paradigm. But I want you to be brave right now. I want to invite you into a space where you feel safe because you trust me, right? And I trust you. Great. We're in a space of safety. We're in a space of knowledge and learning. So that means you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to feel something you've never felt before. And I want you to hear something you've never heard before. Because these are the tools that are going to help you get that quantum leap. These are the tools that are going to help you excel, not just one step ahead of the other, but not just 1 foot ahead of the other, not just incremental changes, but huge leaps in your life come from doing the things that you thought you'd never do. Doing the things you said you never do. Talking to the people you said you'd never be in the room with. Making the money that you said you'd never be able to make because it didn't fit the paradigm, or that people with money are bad and assholes. Doing the new activity that you thought was just for this age group, or you thought it was just for this type of culture. Doing the exercises that you thought were not for you because of this and that and that. Do the things that challenge your current mind. Because this is why. Pay attention. Are you listening? Pay attention. Because the reason you're in the life you're in right now is because you've done things to a certain degree and in a certain way up until this moment. Your life is made up of doing things in a certain way. So it's not that we need to change life, it's we need to change the way we do life. This is the paradigm shift I'm talking about. And it's not going to come from the thinking that you've had up until this moment. It's not even going to come from the words you had up until this moment. Your whole vocabulary needs to change. The way you sit up in your chair needs to change. The way you speak needs to change. I know you're hearing that in me. You're hearing that in me because you've been following along and you feel my transformation, don't you? I know you do. I know you can hear it in my voice as well. You've heard Kim with passion before. You've heard Kim with fire in her voice before, but now there's a wind at my back. There's a windy wisdom that's coming through, and there's no going back. So I want you to feel that. I want you to feel and know that right now in this moment, I'm doing what I just said for you to do. I'm speaking in a way that's congruent with me, intrinsic with me, but it is different for me. I'm living in a way that's true for me. It's congruent. It's intuitive for me, but it is different for me. I'm speaking to people that are different that I've never spoken with before. I'm having conversations with people that I've never had conversations with before. I'm reading books by authors I've never heard of before that will never make the New York Times best-selling list or the Oprah Book Club. But I'm reading and I'm listening to people on YouTube. I'm doing all the things that Kim, up until this moment, have never done before. Because I'm not the fly anymore, and neither are you. I'm done trying harder. If you listen to, I believe my last podcast episode, maybe it was 2 before, on what is quantum manifesting. I think it was 2 before. I gave you the analogy of getting a 180 turn and getting speed and getting velocity. Because remember, trying harder is slow. It's the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Also, isn't that the definition of insanity? I forget who said that, Aristotle or Plato, I don't know. Or maybe it wasn't that long ago, but someone said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Maybe that was Albert Einstein. So not only are we insane for doing it, for trying harder, we're also just not being intelligent. We are not using the wisdom that human beings inherently have, which is stop what you're doing, turn, look at a different direction. Look to people that are heading in a different direction. If you're doing everything else that everyone else is doing around you, you've got a problem. You've got a bigger problem than you realize. If what you're doing is the solution that everyone else around you has, you're in trouble. Because I don't know if you've looked around lately, but people aren't exactly in a great spot. You're going to use their roadmap? Come on. I don't think so. Now, you may not like my roadmap, but it's going to show you that I'm doing my own roadmap, which will hopefully inspire you to do your own roadmap. Different. 180. Turn your body. Turn your mind in a different direction. That is the key. If you keep going in the direction you're going because you've been told and you believe that you should try harder, you're going to be in the same place a year from now and you're going to be exhausted. You're going to wonder why you didn't try something different sooner. Because when you try something different sooner, it immediately feels better than the situation you're in. We get a hit of dopamine. We get some decreased cortisol levels in the brain. We get a little oxytocin flowing. We start to feel good. And that change sounds so simple, but it is light years ahead of where you just were. Some of you listening to this, I don't know what you're going through personally, but you're stuck. You're stuck and you hate it. And I can feel that from you. And I know what that's like. I've been stuck so many times in my life. And that's my superhuman power, is really to quickly make decisions and get the hell out of stuck. Stuck is trying harder. Stuck is you declaring out loud really boldly, I do not believe there's any other solution. I really believe that I have ran out of ideas. So I'm doing the only thing anyone's ever said to do that's supposed to work, and that's try harder. But I'm fucking tired, yet I'm going to keep trying because that's what everyone says to do. What if the change and freedom you want and the happiness you want is on the other side of just turn around. Stop what you're doing and turn. Take a breath for a second and do something different. Do something differently. Apply yourself in a new way and do it in a funky way, in a wild way, in a windy way. Dance a little bit more. Start running. Start taking painting classes. Learn a new language, like something crazy like Portuguese. I don't know, that you like absolutely won't need at any moment in your life, but it's just really fun to learn Portuguese. No offense to anyone who has that culture in their blood or the language, right? Like, it's just like, you probably won't need it, but learn it anyhow. Go take a stained glass workshop. Go learn how to pour cement, which is oddly something that I will be doing one day. I love cement for some strange reason. I love cement so much in the process of pouring it and curing it and raking it. Oh, I could watch that all day long. Weird fun fact about Kim. Let me know what your weird things that you love too. I love hearing from you guys. I would love to know your weird thing that you love watching. Like hashtag oddly satisfied, oddly satisfying. So yeah, there are things you should be doing. There are people you should be talking to. There are books you should be reading. There are physical exercise you should be doing that will put you outside of your comfort zone. Why? Because the thing you've been doing up until this moment has kept you stuck. And if you keep doing it, thinking that trying harder is the way, you're just going to get further stuck into the rut you're already in. So stop. Stop right now. Lift your head up. Physically, right now, sit up taller. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, queen. Take a deep breath in and out. And I want you to feel your body is an open, porous sponge. And I want you to feel and intuitively start to sense that there's a new wave coming, rising up inside of you. One that has a lot of creative ideas, one that is willing and brave to turn away from that windowsill that is in the inevitable death and fly out the open door because it's right there. So what's the one thing you can do this week? What's the one thing you can do next week? What's the one thing you can do this weekend that is radically different? You've never done it before. Now, speaking of radical, some of you know I teach something called radical rituals. This is the whole point of them, is to get you moving your body in a time, at a time like 6 a.m., early 5:30 a.m., a time that you've never moved it before, in a way you've never moved it before, and with a philosophy that you've never felt before in your body, a theory, a concept that you never felt before in your body. Because it's not so much that you need to know the goal, you need to know the steps on how to move away from that window. You just need to feel that it's a possibility in your body. Your body and mind will know what to do. We just got to get you to stop and turn and feel openness in your body. Stop what you're doing. Turn. Stop focusing on that job for a second. Stop focusing on getting more clients and students. Stop focusing on making more money. Stop focusing on should I do that or shouldn't I? Stop focusing on what is my life about for a second and just stop. Turn. Face the sun. Take a deep breath in. Feel your humanness, feel your beingness start to come alive again inside of you. Don't fucking miss that. Wake up to that. Feel it. You are intuitively a walking crystal ball. You are intuitively a walking stick of dynamite. Any moment there could be a spark and you ignite, you explode into the next generation of you, the next evolution. Here's what also trying harder is saying. Trying harder is saying, let's take this one step at a time. I've also no longer use that phrase for myself. I might coach other people on that. It depends on where you are in your life. Sometimes one step at a time will calm the nervous system. And let's pause here and just say, I'm not discrediting going slow. I'm not discrediting sticking with it even and having tenacity and having a sort of unstoppable drive inside of you that says, I will not give up. I will not give up is different from harder. I will not give up says I'm not leaving the space. I'm not leaving my purpose, but I might leave this attempt. I will not give up really is saying I'm not giving up on me, but I might need to stop this activity because it's just not working. That doesn't mean you've given up on you. Know the difference. There is a difference. You can still keep going and not try harder. Trying harder is different than intuitively believing in yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't give up on yourself. We need you. The world needs you to believe in yourself. But we also need you to not be exhausted any longer. We also really need you to look at where you're trying harder because of some other story. Someone else told you that you'll look like a slacker or a lazy person or a loser or a nobody if you give up. Someone told you you're going to be a loser or a slacker or poor, or you're going to look like an idiot, or you're going to look like whatever, like you don't care. All of these paradigms, if you don't try harder. So you better try harder, because it's more important that you're exhausted, because that's the story everyone knows. Exhaustion. Life is exhausting. Work is exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm tapped out. I'm completely overwhelmed. Yeah, and everyone goes, "Oh, I get it. Yep, that's parenthood." I don't know what it's like to be a parent, so I'm speaking in terms of the parent friends that I have, and pushing your buttons a little, right? Yep, that's parenthood, or that's adulting. Yep, that's your 9 to 5 job. Whoop, that's marriage. All of these disgusting, unloving ways we just nod our head and go, "Yep." But no, you shouldn't be exhausted. You're exhausted because you're living a paradigm that's a lie. You're exhausted because you keep pushing yourself and beating a dead horse. You keep beating your head against the wall, expecting different outcomes. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it. You got to stop it. Pause. Lift your head up. Take a deep breath in and out. Turn your body. Maybe even do that right now in your room if you're able to do it. You turn and look out a different goddamn window. When we do radical rituals, I have you turn and face all directions, because even we get used to dancing just toward the camera. This morning in the private group coaching, I had us turn and shoot some arrows for action, sacred action behind us, because guess what? There's targets behind you. You don't even see them yet, but you should be getting ready. Take action. Turn around. Keep your head up. Don't keep going in the same direction. So, how do we get ourselves out of the rut? How do we stop trying harder? First of all, you just need to decide that's a paradigm that you no longer believe. Step 1 is drop the drama. Stop the story. And replace it. Replace it with, I don't need to try harder. I can try something different. I'm not going to try harder. I'm going to try something new and wild and exciting. I'm going to try something that people go, "What are you doing? Wait, what? Oh my God, what's that?" Right? That's the reaction. If you get that reaction for someone when you tell them your solution, you are on the right path. If you tell someone what you're doing and they go, "I've done that," you need to not do that. Unless that person said, "Yeah, absolutely, that gave me incredible success. I didn't take an incremental change there. I didn't put one foot in front of the other. I actually had a quantum leap. I actually leapt into 10 times my salary." That change, yeah, I've done that. It's something similar. And it actually allowed me to find my purpose. And they actually opened up a storefront right away, like 2 months later. Those stories of like, holy shit, how did you get here so quickly? Those are the people that dropped the story, turned, and went in a different direction. Are you starting to get it now? The people that are like, "Whoa, how did you do that?" And it seems almost overnight. They did a quantum leap because they realized something very important. And they realized something that's coming through in the book You² as well. And that is, working harder does not guarantee success. Working harder guarantees burnout. Working harder guarantees you're just going to do the same thing you've been doing And you're just going to do the same thing you've been doing, expecting a different, and at the same time, eroding your trust in yourself. Let's not do that. I need you to trust yourself. I need you energized. Your family needs you energized. Your life needs you energized. You need you energized. The way we grab that power back, the way we feel good again in our lives, the way we find our success and our purpose and all of those beautiful things you say you want, is to stop being the fly. Stop heading toward that window and only going in that direction. Flying harder into the glass will kill you. So stop, turn, take a breath, feel into your intrinsic power. Know that you are source. You are with source. You're coupled with it. You are beautiful and pure and whole just as you are. You will have the creative intuition. It will strike you like a bolt of lightning. It will come to you. But what you can do in the meantime is something you've never done before. So truly, what's the one thing you're going to do this weekend that you've never done before? Some of you can see it right now. You just like, whoop, I just got a vision of me kayaking down the Erie Canal. Do it. Not because you know why you need to do it, but because you know it's something different. You got to shake it up, mix it up, be around different people. Be around the people you said you'd never be around. If you're not good with money, go hang out with accountants. Go hang out with business people that are good with money. Let it scare the fucking shit out of you, but go anyways. If you're not a good artist, go learn how to be an artist. If you're not good with horses, horses scare you, go hang out with horses. Go be an equestrian, whatever. Go do different things. If you don't like birds, go bird watching. If you don't like dancing, do my radical rituals. You cannot afford to stay the same person you are or were. You need to draw the line in the sand. I'm going to stop trying harder, and I'm going to find and dedicate my life to ease. Because the moment you turn, let's see if I can find it in the book. Here's the cool thing, and I've been alluding to this, but the moment you turn, the moment you decide that the small 1 foot in front of the next, really heavy, try harder, we're in this groove, let's just stay longer and deplete our resources. The longer you do that, the more you're going to erode your trust. And what it should feel like instead is ease. That is solution. Solution feels good in your body. Solution feels like joy. Solution feels like your best friend showing up in Crocs with your favorite latte. Okay, right? Like, it's gonna feel good instantly. Then when you start making a habit of turning and trying something new and it feels good instantly, guess what you start to do more of? You start to stop flying into the window. You stop trying harder. You turn. You stay on plane. You rise up out of the water. You're on plane. You've gained velocity. All right. I don't know if I'll be able to find it here. Okay, focus. The quantum leap. Okay, here we go. Quantum leaps come when you seek the elegant solution. So look for an approach characterized by simplicity, precision, efficiency, and neatness. Isn't that awesome? Look for an approach characterized by simplicity, precision, efficiency, neatness. It won't be as complex or time-consuming as your present struggle, he says. Overall, it will be less demanding of your energies and emotions, and it will probably not be familiar to you. You² calls for a fresh perspective, a deft move, a path of least resistance. There is a way you can do more with less. Oh, I fucking love this book. It's only like 36 pages. I'm going to read this probably every day of my life. You can do more with less, and that is quantum manifesting. But the way you get there is to understand right now, you do not need to try harder. The solution is going to be the thing you haven't done yet. But man, is it going to be worth it. It's going to be elegant, the path of least resistance. You're going to arrive with energy, and you deserve that. I hope this served you. I had so much fun talking about it with you, and I love you so much. Let me know. Shoot me an email, DM me, get a hold of me if this has impacted you in some way. If you're watching the YouTube video of this, subscribe to my channel. Tell me in the comments how this impacted you. I really, really, really love learning how these teachings channeled through me impacted you. Because guess what? It's coming through me so that you can learn it in this moment. And I really, really trust that. So I want to hear from you how that impacted you. I love you guys so much. Mwah! And I will be with you next week. Thank you again for being here.